Welcome back, everyone. Now, police will have the power to demand identification for anyone at an airport, even if you're not flying. It's among additional security measures being rolled out following a foiled terror plot involving Sydney Airport.
Let's get today's take on this with commentator Shelley Horton and Nine's Ross Greenwood. Shelley, to you first. The failure to show ID will result in people being escorted out of the terminal. I mean, when you travel overseas, this is a bit of a no-brainer, really. You know, you have to do it in America all the time, same in London. But it's just, you know, it's been a great freedom of our airport that we've been able to do what we've been able to do.
I have absolutely no problem with this. You know, it used to be that the police would have to have like a just cause, a reason to be asking for your ID. I think we have a reason now. It's called terrorism. You know, and looking at the news reports, people at the airports are not complaining about it. They're saying, you know, it's the way it is. And who doesn't have their ID on them these days? Like, I really don't think it's a big deal. And I think that it's a sign of our times. No issue.
I'd go the same way. I think that there's obviously got to be issues here about people when they can be sort of, if you like, apprehended and sort of asked for their identity. But the fact of the matter is, if you are a young kid growing up in a country town, the local copper would always come up to you and say, "Oi, who are you and where do you live?" You know, there's nothing wrong with a police officer is well within their rights. Federal police officer, state police officer, coming up and simply asking, "Who are you? Where do you come from? Why are you here?" Now, if you can't answer all of those questions and prove who you are, remember, there was a massive bikie brawl out at Sydney Airport not so long ago, going back a couple of years ago, a fatality there. I mean, you know, these are the types of issues. You want to know who's there, what their business is, and as a result, you know, that way I think the community feels safer as well.
Absolutely. Sure. Also making news this morning, millennials are shying away from excessive drinking. 10 years ago, 52% of people were binge drinking. Now only 33% say they drink excessively. Where we drink has also changed, with 63% of people choosing to drink at home instead of going out. Obviously, that's cheaper.
That's right. I've got a 19-year-old who and I can attest for that. This is actually first-hand experience. It's what happens because if the drinks are too expensive outside, they basically will load up before they go. Right. But in terms of actually the amount that they're loading up, now we think that the younger people are, you know, less experienced, a bit sillier, perhaps more flighty. They actually understand. They understand the health issues and the whole notion of body consciousness. Even though body shaming is not a good thing, and we often talk about that, the fact is that because people are more body conscious these days, they tend to cut down on the booze, they don't drink as much, they are perhaps more responsible than their parents and their grandparents' generations, no doubt.
Yes, but the thing that worries me about this is what else is taking its place. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I actually don't think it is. Like, I don't think drugs are being slotted in against the drinking. I think that it's probably the only thing I like about millennials is they are quite healthy. They actually want to do yoga. They want to go bushwalking. Like, I don't know anyone who bushwalks, but for them, it is actually important. And in this article, you know, the people they were quoting saying, I don't want to wake up on Sunday feeling disgusting and feeling unhealthy. So I actually don't think that it is that they are using, like, not drinking and using drugs. I think they're actually got a much healthier lifestyle than my generation does.
I thought you were referring to, remember when we were young, we were going out, you'd have a glass of milk when you're prepping to go out?
Oh,
have a glass of lie in your stomach?
Lie in the stomach.
I don't think that was true. I think that just made you sick as soon.
It curdled nicely, didn't it, with the blackberry nip.
Great to have you both on. Go on to Facebook and Twitter if you agree with any of these sort of things. We'd love to hear from you. But ahead on this very special edition of Today Extra.